1 year, actually probably more, has come and gone. Oops. And yeah, gonna try this again. And by this I mean YouTubing in general. Hopefully I don't get burnt out, because last time I think the issue was that I was doing too much work for what I could realistically expect. Like, I was putting in 4 to 5 hours per Minecraft episode. Not really worth the 5-ish views each one got. So I will pace myself and hopefully become more entertaining as I progress. I will learn what works and what doesn't. And I think consistency is the key thing here. Anyway, enough about myself. Peglin is a game which is in demo right now, demo version on Steam. You can wishlist it when it comes out so that you can buy it, and it's free. Might as well try it. I'm going to intend this video to be kind of like a guide. Hopefully if you're struggling, or I don't know, you want to watch me play Peglin, then you'll stick around. The first thing to notice is that each orb, these are your orbs, each one of them has a damage number and a crit number. So if you hit the crit peg, which is the exclamation point, it will deal whatever damage the crit number is, obviously. So if you crit with a dagger, you do 7 damage. And if you crit with a rock, you do 4. What damage means is basically, I'm going to turn this down a little bit. Barely hear myself think here. That might be too quiet. Let's try this. Whoops. I just tabbed back in. Okay, anyway. Damage means that it does that much whenever it hits a peg. And crit means it does that much whenever it hits a peg after hitting the crit orb. Or the crit peg. However, if you hit a bunch of pegs, so say you hit like 5 pegs and then the crit, it'll convert all damage that the orb is currently doing into crit damage. So you don't need to worry about that. Over on the right here, you can see the upcoming enemies. And down in the bottom right, you can see the reset peg, which will reset every hit orb that has a faint outline like this. So not bombs, when it's hit. Bombs, they take 2 hits to explode. And when they do, they deal 50 damage to every enemy currently on the screen. Doesn't matter if they're flying or not. So they're very strong. Quite possibly the best orb that you want to hit, like ever, is the reset orb. If you thought I was going to say crit, that would make sense because of how much damage it does. However, the crit orb only works as well as the map does. And by that I mean you can hit just the crit orb and nothing else. If there aren't any pegs to hit after you hit the crit orb, you're still not going to do any damage. So consistency with the reset orb is much, much more important than hitting the crit orb. And that's just a universal rule that I found while playing, is that I do a lot better if I don't hyper focus on the crit. Which was a very big issue for me. So every time you launch 4 orbs, you will reload and the enemies will get a free turn. So keep that into account. When it says view orbs like this means you get an upgrade. I would say that if you don't have any items, then you should just upgrade your rocks, because that again is more consistent when you don't hit a crit. Because if you can't hit a crit, the dagger is useless. It never has any base damage higher than 1, so upgrading only increases its crit damage. Other than that, I would say the best path to take in this game is the one that gives you the most number of items, because the items do a lot in this game. This event will give you a Bram Orb, which will lock an enemy in place and make other enemies take damage as they move past it. It's very good. It doesn't work on the boss though, and I play in the sense that being consistent is better than having utility, which means that I will take less orbs than expected when taking orbs. Okay, so I went to this question mark just because the chest is nearer to it. So this event has a chance of spawning an elite enemy. It didn't for me this time, which is really nice. Otherwise it just heals you for 15 health. You definitely don't want to see an elite in your third room. You definitely want some upgrades or at least an item before you hit it. So I'm going to take this elite on purpose. And then go for this one. And probably hit all 3 fights just because each time you have a fight, it's guaranteed to either give you an orb or a chance to upgrade one of your orbs. The upgrades are very important because that's basically what will carry you through. I mean, the orbs themselves aren't going to be doing anything for you after a certain point if they're not upgraded. Okay, that was unfortunate. I thought I would bounce to the right. I was aiming for that crit. This crit might be good if the dagger bounces out. Yes, it was very strong. Unfortunately, it's only going to be wasted on a 10 health slime, that's why Pierce is good. Orbs that pierce will do a lot more to 10 health slimes, but this stage is pretty easy. There's a bomb on each side that's very easily accessible. So here there's another dagger and a bold orb that's big and attacks. It pierces all enemies. Again, it's the same as a rock except it's big, which I don't even know because I've never picked it up, but I would say that it's worth just upgrading your rocks. You don't want to have 3 level 1 rocks when you could have 2 level 2 rocks. So first item that's actually useful, unicorn horn shows you where your next bounce is going to go. It's not active yet for some reason, but it will be in this fight. So here's the bull, minotaur, whatever you want to call him. I think I'll just drop it in here. This is a really good reset orb because you're able to hit it from here. The unicorn horn is strong because you can do things like this, which otherwise you wouldn't be able to do. Unfortunately, I kind of wasted it, but you get what I mean. Reset. This is also a very good spot for the reset. So where the reset spawns is entirely dependent on RNG. Which makes some fights very, very tricky. That's why getting the item that makes it so that every time the board refreshes, the reset peg moves, that is a very strong item, as well as the one that makes it so that there are 3 reset pegs. If you're ever given the choice between 2 items or 3 items, definitely take that one. I'll hit the reset peg here, hopefully hit the crit too. Nope. Minotaur takes 2 turns to attack, so you get an extra turn in between each one. Although his attacks do deal 25 damage, so they're not light attacks, that's for sure. Luckily, I can withstand 3 more of them before I'm dead, so that's 8 turns. I should probably be able to kill him in 8 turns. I mean, not with these throws. Well, I mean, that was okay. I could have done more with that dagger. Definitely need to hit the reset orb. I'm just gonna get a nice crit before I do that. So unicorn horn doing work here. Oh, I need to kill him this throw. Oh, perfect. I killed him this throw. So, also if you're struggling with this game, just get lucky. That really helps. I'm gonna upgrade another rock. This one's super strong, so any walls and bouncers down here contribute to the damage that you deal. So they deal 1 multiplied by however much damage the orb is currently doing, meaning that if it's a dagger orb with a crit and it bounces, it will add 7 to its total damage. Pretty strong. I mean, this this level's a walk in the park. Like you just drop it and then you watch it happen. Watch this. 203, you know, just casual. This is good. Crits or reset orbs on the very bottom is nice because it resets the top for you. Okay, so you see this stage is a guaranteed win. Upgrade again. This is really nice because now all of my stones are pretty much 50% better. I'm just gonna keep taking the fights, as I said earlier, because if I add an orb that I don't think is worth taking, then, or if I find orbs that I don't think it's worth taking, then I will simply just not take them and heal instead, where the question mark rooms aren't guaranteed to heal you. It also is worth noting that there is an event in this game, in the question mark rooms, that double all of your orbs that you currently have, which is super bad. You might think it's good. It is okay, but this game is in its demo phase, which means that once you get to the boss of the first level, you are done. You're done with the game. So doubling all of your orbs is basically just making your worse orbs worse and your better orbs less consistent. They're less available when you do that. So that's why avoiding question mark rooms is also sometimes pretty advantageous. So as you can see, bombs are pretty much the best peg in the game. 50 damage to every enemy on the screen is much better than anything a normal orb can give you. There we go. So the Inferno Orb is the best orb in the game, in my opinion, because it detonates bombs in one hit, which are already established as the best peg that you can get, and it has much higher base and upgraded damage than any other orb that you can expect to find. So if you see an Inferno Orb and you're struggling to win, take the Inferno Orb because you will not regret it. And also take the necklace too. Necklace is strong. And these enemies just chill in the back and chip away at you every other turn. They only do 2 damage though. Not that big of a problem. It is when you're on 23. I kind of scuffed the bullfight, but whatever. Here I want to try and do my best to thread the needle here. Oh, look at that. Unicorn Horn is so strong. Because it lets you do things like that. What a roll. I don't even get to see it launch. Another upgrade. I will heal here because I'm going into an elite fight. Normally I would upgrade the Inferno Orb there though. So there are currently 3 elites in the game. We've already seen one. And we're going to see him again. Another one is a bunch of those plant enemies that we saw before, the ones that sit in the back. There will be 3 of them. They will have a ton of health and they will deal damage to you once every 3 turns instead of once every other turn. They're kind of annoying, but they're not like terribly... You just have to have some amount of health in order to survive them. This guy, you want more consistent damage than you do health, because if you can kill him before he gets to you, then you don't take any damage. With the plants, you'll probably take some amount of damage no matter what you do, so... And they only do like, I don't know, 4 or 6 to you, so... Anyway, as you can see, this fight is going much better because we have much better orbs. And the reset peg doesn't get stuck in the bottom corner. Wow, beautiful. I'm going to kill him with 1 damage. Wait, there's gotta be a way, right? 2 damage. Take that. upgrade the Inferno Orb. That's an insane upgrade. That's ridiculous. Compare that to the level 3 rock. You get 3 points of damage versus 5. Yeah, Inferno Orb is good. This is also arguably the best relic in the game. Alchemist Cookbook. Making bombs, or making pegs respawn as the best peg in the game whenever you hit the reset orb. If you're playing where you're going for the reset orb, as you should be every time, then that is just so strong to have. Unfortunately, there's a little bit of deviation with the way the bomb, or the pegs, the orbs, I guess you could call them, the way they bounce. Like if you go straight up and down, they'll go off to the side a little bit. See, that's why the necklace is so strong. Here we go again. 4 damage in the upgrade. 4 damage points. I mean, it's not 4 on average, but it gives you a total of 4 more, which is good. You don't really want to go for the reset peg like immediately, just because if there's nothing to reset, then why reset? But if you can do things like that, then it's worth it. The crit peg is much better to go for, especially if you have the necklace, just because it doesn't matter how many walls. Actually, the more walls you hit, the better in that case. Oh yeah, another thing is the max level of orb is 3, so you cannot upgrade past that, unfortunately. It would be awesome if you could, but let's just go here and see if we can. There we go. Double bomb it. Wow, that went fast. Triple. Oh, I hit a third somewhere. I didn't even see it. Okay, so there the enemies get an extra turn. Get the crit. I mean, it's worth it just for the reset peg, even if I don't do much with the crit. $60 damage. Now this will, hopefully I can bounce the Inferno Orb into the bomb and the crit. That's another 100 and something. 140. Oh, I didn't even notice. Wow. Alright. So, as you can see, items carried me there. Without the Alchemist Cookbook, I would not have won that at all. These, they don't do anything because this is a demo. So once you take one, the game ends. I know there's plans on, this is not the full game, obviously, so you will have multiple stages and you will keep going. There will be balance changes and stuff. But if you have this game right now, or you're planning on playing it, and you just want to know a general strategy or guidelines that I found are very helpful for consistent runs, taking as many items as you possibly can is your first step. Understanding that bombs are the most powerful peg, and that most of the orbs aren't worth taking over upgrading other orbs. You want to remain as consistent as possible. I just won with the starting number of orbs and an Inferno Orb, knowing which orbs are strong. So the ice orbs, the ones that pierce all the enemies, and the Inferno Orbs are probably the only 2 that I would recommend taking. Oh, and the multi-ball one. That one's not that strong, but it's just funny. And other than that, recognizing when you can and cannot take elite fights, and learning the layouts of the map and how the orbs bounce. Once that happens, I mean, I've only played this game for how long? 5 hours? So, if you like the idea of this game, if you're looking forward to the future content, make sure you wishlisted it, and you can practice a little bit for the future right now. And if you're struggling with winning runs now, hopefully this helped. Thank you for watching. I will do some sort of channel update probably. I need to figure out what I'm doing with this channel and if I'm going to keep going. But I thought I'd just play Peglin because it's chill, it's fun, and I want to show that it's actually pretty easily, consistently winnable, despite what some reviews and commenters will say.